What's up, you guys? It's Tyler. Welcome back to the Tyler Williams channel. Before we get this video started, it is October, which is not really my favorite month, but I've always been a fan of Halloween, mostly the Halloween movies, watching Goosebumps, watching a bunch of kid horror movies. I'm a fan of that. So Halloween falls in the category of one of my top 3 favorite holidays. So that being said, I'm about to play my old intro. My gaming channel, my old gaming channel, Mr. Epic Enigma, had a intro to the video that played throughout the whole month of October, and we're going to do this the whole month of October. We're going to play that old intro until I update it. I'm probably going to update it sometime during this month. But please enjoy this corny, very much badly put together intro that I made for my gaming channel. That was terrible. But nonetheless, American Horror Story, I take back what I said. I'm going to admit, when we jumped into Cult, I was like, I didn't like it. I watched the trailer, I'm like, meh. I watched the show, though, I was like, meh. Then I jumped into the first episode, I'm like, this is going to be a failure. This is going to be a failure of a season. So I started to watch it again. I watched the first episode. I'm like, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. I'm like, all right, so let me go into the second episode. Second episode was good. Third episode was good. Fourth episode was good. I'm like, okay, now we start making a comeback. Because American Horror Story making that comeback now, guys. I did see it coming. I didn't think they had it in them because, you know, they slowly but surely had bad seasons. You know, 4. I thought 4 was good, but in terms of 3 and 2, it was not better than those two. 5 was bad. 6 was like on the border of okay and bad. So it's like, all right, 7's not gonna be that good either. I might as well not even pay attention. But hey, it's starting to get really good. You have Allie, who's starting to become more of a badass slowly but surely. You know, first it started off with her crying and freaking out in the first episode, the second episode, which really annoyed me to no end. That was the real thing that turned me off, was how they had Sarah Paulson crying and just freaking out in the whole first episode. And then the second episode was basically the same thing, but third and fourth episode is when Allie started to come to her own. So I'm going to break down each characters, and I'm going to tell you why I think, my theory is, okay, before I start, it's all over the place. I'm sorry I did not do a review of episode 2, 3, and 4. I did not watch any of those episodes until like last week because I did not want to commit to watch American Horror Story because the first episode seemed bad to me. So I did not watch any of I did watch those episodes now, but when they came out, I didn't watch those episodes, which is why I did not review them. So that's, if you guys are wondering where those reviews are, that's where they are. They're not existent. But I'm not really going to count this as a review. I'm going to break down what happened in the previous episodes, but I'm not going to do a review for all 5 episodes because I don't want to be here all day. I still got to go to work. But without further ado, I'm going to break down each character and tell you why my theory is everyone's in on it. Literally everyone except one person, which is the main character, Allie, who's played by Sarah Paulson. She's the one who freaks out everything. She's the one with the phobias. She's the main character here. And everyone is basically... Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, everyone's trying to out to kill her. They're out to kill her. And my thing is, if they were trying to kill her, they would have done it by now. If you guys notice, they targeted everyone in the neighborhood who's not part of the cult. They targeted the Asians. They targeted the guy who worked for the restaurant. They targeted a few people, but they did not target. They're like messing with Allie. They didn't kill her. They broke into her house, which I won't get to later. They did a bunch of stuff, but they haven't killed her yet. And now you could say they're going to drag it out and kill her in the final episode. But for all that, you might as well just like try and convert her if you're going to drag it out, which that's what I think they're doing. They're trying to convert her into a clown. And why do I think they're going to convert her into a clown? We'll get to that in a sec. I'm going to get that later on too. I'm going to the second main character, Kai Anderson, who's played by Evan Peters, and I really like the Kai character mainly because he's very reminiscent of Charles Manson. But this guy, man, you go into it and you instantly know he's the ringleader here. He's the ringleader. He's the one pulling the strings. He's a computer hacker. He's the one who he's swift with his words. He's trying to overthrow kind of the government and become mayor of the city, but they don't want him. But they're like, no, we don't know who you are. In the first episode y'all saw, he went to the what's it called, to try to get a seat, and they denied him. And he's like, the most dangerous man is an embarrassed man, and that's gonna come back to bite them in the ass because the judge was the one who got killed, and I'm pretty sure he was the one who ordered that. So Kai's pulling the strings. He's trying to recruit everybody. Now I'm gonna go through everyone that we've seen in the season so far. That's not the guy who's played by Chaz Bono, because I just didn't find a picture of him, and how he recruited all of them. Basically, because my theory is I think everyone is in on it, and they're trying to kill Allie. So the first person that's up is the reporter, Adina Porter. Adina Porter. I forgot her character's name, honestly. It's probably somewhere in this video. But she's the one who's been reporting all the murders. As you guys can see in the picture, I think there's clowns in the back. She's been reporting all the murders in the town. And that's not something to go off and say, oh, well, just because she's reporting all the murders doesn't mean she's a part of it. How she's a part of it was shown in episode 4 when basically a new reporter came into town. That new reporter being Emma Roberts, being portrayed by Emma Roberts. And she's basically sucking her way to the top. And Adia doesn't like that, so she starts slashing tires. She starts slashing, I think it's her tires. She starts slashing her tires, and Kai comes out of nowhere, and he's basically like, look, if you want to actually get revenge, you got to kill her. You got to do something. And Adina's like, nah, I don't believe in you. I don't think people like you exist. You're just say all. You're just hearsay. You're all talk. I don't think you have what it takes to do that. So then he proves himself by ordering the clowns to kill Emma Roberts. And he's like, all right, I believe in you. I didn't believe in you first, but I believe in you. And she basically joined the clown herd. So she's part of the clowns. So the reporter is in on it. Next up is Cheyenne Jackson, who's playing Ruby Vincent, this is really fucked up. He's playing Allie's psychiatrist. And it's really fucked up that he's part of it because he knows all of her fears, and how to trigger them. So this guy, I know he's in on it because it seems like every time Allie's trying to get closer and closer to why all this stuff is happening, he's like, oh, we're running out of time, or oh, you're digging too deep into this, Allie, that's not a possibility, or oh, don't do this, Allie, you don't know what might happen. Like, I feel like every time she's onto something good, she has a lead on something, he kind of sways her away from it, like, don't try that, it's not a good thing to do. But yet, he's supposed to be her psychiatrist, he's supposed to be helping her out, he's supposed to be trying to guide her into what to do, but it seems like at every turn he's telling her what not to do. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying don't tell someone what not to do isn't a way to get through it, but it seems like he is trying to stop her from finding out the truth. Now we could say that's just curiosity. Maybe he's not part of it and he's just looking out for her. But with everyone on this show being in on it, it's safe to say, you know damn well it's the truth. He's in on it. It's going to probably be revealed in the next episode that Kai swayed the doctor somehow. I don't know how, but he probably did. And that's why the neighbors probably are in her fears. Everyone's in on her fears. I'm going to get into the next person who's in on it. And that's the freaking babysitter, Winter. Now, we know she was in on it because she's Kai's brother. But while she's also in on it is that she came into their house. They hired a nanny, which would be Winter, to babysit Ozzy, which is Allie and Ivy's son. And she's been showing him like murder online. She's been giving him clowns. She's basically trying every which way to convert this kid over to being a clown, over to being a murderer in the making. Like, this is how, like, Dylan Klebold's are made. That's what she's molding here. She's molding the next, like, high school shooting, basically. And This is very screwed up. And what's even more screwed up is how in one episode, episode 3, she kind of knows that Allie's under all this stress, so she makes a bathtub for her. And Allie's kind of reluctant at first, but she's like, "No, I know what I'm doing. You know, you need to relax. You're going through a lot of stress." So she gets her in the bathtub. She removes her shirt. Allie's like, "Oh, I could do it. Take it from here." But Winter starts massaging her, and Allie, she's all relaxed by that. She has her eyes closed. She's into it, whatnot. Now I'm thinking Allie's probably under some hypnosis or something. I don't know if it's like the bubble bath or whatever, but she's like obviously under hypnosis because Winter starts moving to the front, and she starts fingering her, and I'm like, oh boy, yeah, she's under some hypnosis. There ain't no way Allie is just sitting there enjoying that. And while she's doing that in the act, there's someone freaking recording them. There's someone recording those two in the bathroom. Now, I hope it wasn't Ozzy. That'd be disgusting. But someone was obviously recording this, and I don't know who was recording it, but I have a feeling I know who was recording it, and we're going to get to that bit later. But Winter's so in on it. And also, another reason why I know she's in on it is because in episode 4 it's revealed that Ivy met Winter at a voting rally. If it wasn't a voting rally, I think it was a Hillary Clinton rally. They met up, and it was because this guy was basically sexually assaulting Ivy, and Winter chased after him, and she actually kind of swayed Ivy into joining her. They went after this guy and basically locked him up in a basement. And I'm like, oh shit, she blindly recruited her. She didn't blindly recruit her, but she's kind of got that idea in Ivy's mind. But you know, it's nothing to go off of either. But yeah, Winter's definitely on it. And then the next person is Colton Haynes, who's playing Detective Samuels. The detective is in on it too. The detective's in on it because he shows up to these crime scenes, you know what I mean? And he's always jumping to the conclusion, well, you know, we don't really, he doesn't do the we don't know shtick, but he does the whole, it could be this, it could be that. It just seems so, you know, why are you not trying to, it seems like he's not trying to get to the bottom of it. Like, he jumps to the conclusion, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, and then nothing really comes of it. But the main reason I know that he's in on it is because he's sleeping with the neighbors. That, you know, the neighbors from hell. The two neighbors. One of the neighbors being the gay guy played by Billy Eichner, Harrison Wilton. Now, I know for a fact that this guy's a train wreck and a half. But the detective and that guy are sleeping with each other. And now I know I said that I think that he's a clown because he's sleeping with him, and I know for a fact Harrison Wilton's a clown because in the 4th episode Kai recruited that guy. And how did he recruit that guy? Because I believe that his boss was basically bullying him, and Kai came over and persuaded Harrison to kill the boss. He persuaded him to kill his boss in a cold act, and I'm like, that's the start of it. That's the start of it. And Kai just has a way with words. Kai has such a way with words at how he's able to persuade every single person he comes across to join a cult. Everyone except Ali, it is. So, the gay guy's in on it, and then his wife, Meadow, she's blindly, I'm not going to say she's in on it, but she's blindly in on it. Now, I'm saying she's blindly in on it because she basically designed the masks for all the clowns. Like, she basically drew up these ideas for Kai because they've been on some sessions with each other. She drew up some, but I don't think she knew why she was drawing them up. She just kind of drew some up, and boom, there you go. But, you know, if the husband's in on it and she knows about it, then she's going to be in on it sooner or later. You know she is. Now, as of right now, I don't think she's completely joined the cult. I think right now she's just kind of like, I don't know what to do kind of phase. But sooner or later she's going to join it. And then the last person is so sad, but the last person I know who's in on it, it's fucking her. It's fucking Allie's wife, Ivy. You know for a fact Now I didn't know this after like episode 1 and 2, but episode 3 and episode 4, I'm like, yeah, Ivy's in on that shit. You can't trust anybody. Ivy is so one of the main culprits. Number one, it seems like every time the clowns show up, Ivy's never there. Ivy is like never there when the clowns show up. She's either asleep, she's at a restaurant, she's at this place or that place. She's never there. Number two, whenever the clowns do show up, she's like, oh, it's one of your you have another episode. It's obviously one of the on your head or whatnot. It's not there. Like she's never. I'm not saying she's never in support of her wife, but that's my third thing. It's not that she's never in support of her wife. It seems like she's always has some excuse for why it can't possibly be what Allie is saying. Like that's your wife. You're supposed to go to bat for her, even if you know there's a possibility that she's not right. She's not in the right state of mind. You're supposed to go to bat for her because she's your wife, but at every cost, it's like, no, it's not this person's fault. It's not their fault. It's she's just never in defense for Allie. And then the final reason I know is because she was in that scene with Winter, and they locked up that guy. All roads are pointing to the fact that Allison Pill Ivy is definitely just a part of it, and she's trying to mask it up as if, oh, I'm by your side, I'm trying to help you, but she's in on it. And I said earlier in the video how I think that I don't know if I said it directly, but I think the reason that they haven't killed Allie yet is because Ivy still has that soft spot in her heart, because at the end of the day, Allie is her wife. She did love Allie, I'm sure, at one point in her life. So I believe she probably can ask Kai not to kill her, but just to try to find ways to convert her. Like, let's convert her. Let's make her a clown because, that's my wife at all. That's at the end of the day, it's my wife. I still love her. Let's not kill her yet, at least. I'm sure after a few episodes, now he has to convert her yet. Now they're going to be like, all right, we got to kill her. And if there is someone who's going to kill Allie, I'm sure it's probably going to be Ivy. Or I think it's going to be a massive turnaround and Allie kills Ivy. I'm probably jumping all over the place. I apologize, but I got to go to work soon. And yeah, the season's all coming together, man. I wasn't a big fan of it at first, but it's all coming together now. Next episode 5 is tonight. I will be reviewing it, so make sure you guys tune into that review later on tonight. Basically, once the episode goes off, I will be reviewing that episode, so make you guys tune into this channel then. I know this isn't wrestling, and I know this isn't something you want, but hey, we gotta do some diversity here. I've been reviewing American Horror Story for a minute. I've been reviewing Walking Dead for a minute. I'm not going to stop reviewing them just because, this channel is basically WWE2K channel, you know what I mean? So I'm going to review this. I'm going to review The Walking Dead when that turns on too. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Once those two shows come on, there's going to be reviews Wednesdays, there's going to be reviews on Sundays. So get ready for that, guys. Get ready for those reviews. Now, as for all the newbies who just came to this channel because of this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Liked this video because we're going to be reviewing American Horror Story, do series videos and all that kind of stuff as the season progresses. And thank you guys for watching once again. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.